I'm Chris Jefferson Jones. I'm here today with Caroline Chapman to discuss health and reverse therapy. Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
Let's start by talking about your illness. What was it like being ill? What symptoms did you have?
It was very difficult because many of the symptoms are invisible. For a long time, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I'd had 4 children in 7 years and had had a sort of very tiring 10 years, I suppose, of sleep deprivation, etc., etc., but carried on. And then when my youngest son, was about 4, I realised I was just so tired. I'd take my children to school in the morning, and literally by 9:30, some mornings I would be crying to go back to bed, and I didn't know why. And I got very unhappy about this. I got quite depressed. I was working part-time, so I'd have to rest when I could, just to have the energy to do the work that I wanted to do. And I really couldn't understand where this was coming from. I went to the doctors, and the doctors suggested that I had depression and wanted to treat me for depression. But I also had other symptoms, which was pain in my arms, sore throats. I got regular migraines. And I kept saying, I really don't think this is depression. I really think there's something else going on in my body. I am not me.
How did you hear about reverse therapy?
Right, reverse therapy was recommended to me by a friend of mine who had had ME for 6 years, and poor Kate, she had suffered from really bad symptoms. I do believe her symptoms were much worse than mine. And she heard about it, I think, on a Radio 4 programme, and went for it, told me about it, and I thought, oh, this sounds really positive. After trying so many other therapies, which were good, that treated the symptoms but not the cause, never the cause. And even at Bath, I'd had cognitive behavioural therapy, which everyone recommends. And never understood why they weren't looking at the origin of the symptoms and only looking at the current symptoms. So Kate had such a brilliant response. After 3 months, she was absolutely well and so positive. So I booked it immediately.
Okay, so what was your first session like?
God, the first session was fascinating. I'd bought the book, John's book, in advance and read it, and I'd written copious notes about my own symptoms and taken that along, and I saw a wonderful therapist called Kathleen Hayden. I'd really believed in the book and thought, yeah, I can understand where this is coming from, and I really think it might work for me. So I was very positive. I went along, and she was fantastic. She talked about symptoms, about the here and now, and about family, life, circumstance, events, well, life now. And then she went through a symptom checklist, really, as to what you get and what you don't get, because with ME, all symptoms are different, and the degree of people's symptoms are different. Some people get symptoms that other people do not get. So it's not one illness that's treatable like that.
So what was your overall experience of reverse therapy?
It was incredible. It's changed my life. In my first session, Kathleen taught me how to link to my body-mind. I was aware of problems and issues that I needed to deal with, but I was reasoning them away with head mind. Body mind is within us all. It is always honest and has our best interests at heart. She taught me how to immerse myself into body mind and detach from head mind. She then wrote down a symptom trigger. No, a symptom message. She then wrote down a symptom message and gave it to me on a card and made me read it out loud. And she had really found the core of the problem. Because I had detached myself from all my reasoning and shoulds and shouldn'ts and everything else that we're forced to do in the society we live in. So it was so positive, and after that second session I really felt better. Kathleen said, let's give it 3 weeks, a 3-week break to go back to my third session. I phoned and cancelled because I felt so well. So that was amazing. So and since I've been in touch with them. The therapists are so helpful in that you can email at any time and they always respond back to you. And also I had Kathleen's assistant phoning me up to see how I was.
So taking extra care.
Oh, definitely, which was just wonderful. You really feel that someone's on your side.
Tell us a little bit about the life you're able to lead now in comparison to what it was like before you entered reverse therapy.
Oh, it's totally different. I just feel so lucky that I wake up every day and the first thing I think, well, I did for a long while, the first thing I thought was, gosh, no pain. Wow, I can get out of bed. And then my friend who had been through reverse therapy very successfully said, oh, you're still going through that, are you? She said, I don't even do that anymore. I've gone beyond that.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? I think just I'm so lucky to be in this position that I have recovered from ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, of which I had all the symptoms. And I really feel that reverse therapy needs a bigger profile. I really believe in that, and I've said that to my therapist, Kathleen. I think the illness can be very invisible and very, very isolating. And often people have tried so many other good alternative therapies which help the symptoms for a short period of time, and maybe have got bad responses from friends, family, general public, even doctors maybe. I would say do not give up on one last thing. You know, if someone comes to you and says, I've heard about this new thing, reverse therapy, that can help me, don't think, oh, not another one, because it really does help the person, the individual, and as far as I know, it's the only treatment that actually treats the core symptom, the origin of the symptom, and the individual, and that's how people get better.
Caroline, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.